And welcome to a good old Rocky Pod. This is our college football extravaganza, playoff prediction, and playoff something. I don't know what I was going to say there, but I'm happy to be back. I have been out of pocket for the past like 6 days, working like crazy. I have been unplugged. I don't know what's going on, so I figured it would be kind of good. Has anything happened in like the world of University of Tennessee athletics over the past like 5 or 6 days that you guys can catch me up on? Um, what's happening?
I mean, where to start?
My goodness.
Lady Vols hit 33 pointers, Kyle, in
Who-
one
We
game.
won by 80, Kyle.
Who?
Coach Kim completely changed the culture. It's amazing. We're ranked. We beat Iowa.
Are y'all talking about women's basketball?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
House at Pat built.
What else happened?
A swimming guy broke a world record.
Oh yeah.
Meters,
Okay.
nonetheless.
Caleb, you got those
can't
pictures
stop
of the baseball stadium? Show them an update.
Oh,
Take me a
yeah.
minute to find those. Yeah, we got the right field seats going in, Kyle.
They're real tasteful, too, Kyle. They're going right over those garages. So the garages are still useful, but that's where they're going to put the students. And it wraps around the end of right field and starts to head towards the scoreboard. Looks very good.
That's awesome.
And it's not the stupid three tops either, like Danny likes.
Okay.
Real seats.
So
Yeah.
here's my thing: is it still going to be kind of like the hornet's nest of a atmosphere in there?
Depends on if we keep winning.
Interesting. Okay, so let me recap. We have some female basketball news where we're actually good again.
Yes.
We have swimming news, and we have baseball stadium news. Is there anything else?
There's much more.
The
Are you
men-
ready
the
for
men
this?
ball
Football
is
team
also doing
practiced
well.
outside. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The what?
The men Vols,
What's that?
Gentleman balls.
Rick Barnes and the boys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I did. I will say that for those who are watching the pod that don't know, like I was hosting a team in New York City from Lipscomb University, Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out Lipscomb. And I was
Ooh.
guiding them around. And I
Go
would
Wildcats.
say that I did plan their free time on their own to explore Times Square right around tip-off of Tennessee, Illinois. So I dropped them off at the red bleachers at Times Square and said, all right, guys, see you back here in 2 hours. And I went up to the Marriott Marquis lobby, got a little hot chocolate, sat there, and watched the first half and a little bit of the second half of the Illinois game.
What was the price of that little hot chocolate?
$11.
Are you a
Yes.
whipped cream guy on hot chocolate?
No, they asked if I wanted whipped cream. I said, no, thank you.
Yeah, it ruins it. Thank
No,
you.
thank you. I am not
20.
gender fluid.
I do love how much you love your Marriott Marquis, Matt or Kyle. That was a wonderful, wonderful
Oh, you know
time.
me. I also love the Marriott Marquis.
Well, it's awesome because you just go up on the. For those who, if you ever visit Times Square and you know, hey, there's no public bathrooms. Here's the local tip: you go to the Marriott Marquis. You just act like you are staying there. No one's gonna ask. You hit the elevator to the 8th floor, and that's the lobby. That's the restaurants, whatever. And you go use those bathrooms. They have a nice little bar that has amazing Shirley Temples, and they have pretty good appetizers as well. So, yeah, little secret.
Also, your affection for the Shirley Temple is just
Yeah, but I will
Put
say,
it
here's the cool thing: is I went down and picked up the team, and it was getting near the end, and I was score watching on the app by that time, and we were down at 57th and 7th Avenue, waiting on the N train, and I watched us. I watched Gainey hit the game winning layup, which is funny because that's the same spot in the same subway station that I watched us win the national championship in baseball. Because the same situation, but it was baseball instead of a basketball game.
So Saturday night, where are you going to be?
Well, Kyle,
That
Yep,
same
Kyle,
spot.
you're gonna have to be there.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you should not have admitted that, man. We're gonna write
Yep.
like
Watching on my
hellfire
phone like
if
this, I
we're
don't know if you
not
can see
there.
that. Watching on my phone like that, waiting on the train in the subway station. National championship and a buzzer beater in
Yeah.
basketball.
Get yourself a full charge and get your ass down to
57-7.
what
All
station?
right. Is that going to be a safe
57-7.
place to be Saturday night at about 11:30?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's Midtown Manhattan.
All right.
Nothing happened.
Well, there you'll be there.
We got drones hovering around.
Uh-oh.
All right. Is there anything else I need to be caught up on?
At least you
I
know,
think that's it.
at least you know there's no problem. at
Football
all.
team practice outside today in the elements.
Oh yeah. How is the
Yeah.
weather down in Tennessee?
Rainy.
Very nice tonight.
Look, balm. Yes,
Okay.
quite balmy.
It like rains every morning and then
Sure.
just cloudy. Yeah.
Kind of like Ohio from April to October.
What's the forecast supposed to be in the shoe Saturday night?
23 degrees with a feels like of 13.
Nico's weather, right?
You know, he came out today and said, I'm not worried about it. I played in the snow in a 7-on-7 in Chicago
In his pajamas.
once.
Yeah.
In his jammies.
You know,
So
Nico's
he's good.
best game at Tennessee was probably the coldest game he's played yet. So this is not saying.
This is a great point.
That's called a
And
dad.
you know he's on record saying he
Dad.
likes playing away games as well.
Well, that's great.
All right, so
Well, I don't know though if our fans keep buying all these tickets. I mean, neutral
Yeah,
site,
Oh.
Matt.
home game. Stop buying tickets.
Okay, can I
Tennessee
take-
fans.
Ask a question. North of 20,000, yes or no?
I say yeah.
I'm kind of
Not-
leaning with you too.
yeah,
Not too much more,
Mhm.
but probably.
yeah.
Like, zero chance it's like 30,000 or something like that. 40.
All right, here,
no.
yeah. Here's I think 20,000 is a good shot, but here's a clarifying question, I guess, or a follow-up question I would like to ask. What number would you consider it to be a successful takeover?
No, 20 is more than enough.
20 is more than enough. I think 15 is adequate.
Like
Adequate takeover.
90,000. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, if there's just
Yeah.
none of them there.
They're doing like a Scarlet out, right?
That's what they say. Although, like, how many of them have scarlet winter coats? Is what I.
Yeah. Well, my thing is
Oh,
like the Scarlet out. I would just like. I think a Tennessee takeover is like we just obviously just mess up their red out or whatever.
We gotta get our people
Yeah,
in
orange.
orange
Winter gear.
and scarlet. I've attended actually a Scarlet out in Ohio Stadium. The one game I've been to, it's not all that scarlet. It's reasonably scarlet, but it's like we'll have a hard like they're not gonna actually. It's not gonna be like that. Now they do have the new. It's at night and they've got the lights that'll kind of drown things out a bit. But yeah, the thing that makes me mad about it is that they're denying us the image of a classic football game. They've given us an alt. We're wearing our normal road unis. We should have gotten scarlet on gray.
Yeah.
Wait, what are they wearing?
They're wearing their normal helmet, scarlet home jersey, and scarlet pants. Probably with scarlet.
Why?
That's
I-
weird. But didn't they say they only do that for big games?
Oh,
Did they,
how many
say-
times have they done that this year? Huh?
Did they
they
do it against Michigan?
they usually do so. I mean, in the past, during the middle Harbaugh years, they were doing alternates just about every year for Michigan. And only
Imagine
Michigan.
wearing alts for a big game. I can't.
I did see
Christ.
just a few minutes ago, literally like as we were signing on, that a Tennessee fan like played Rocky Top in every single Waffle House in Ohio.
I did download the Touch Tunes app today and played it in a couple of bars in downtown
I can't
Columbus.
wait. Caleb, what's this charge for $700? Oh man, I'm getting a little nervous with the way our fans are acting. Like,
Oh my
of
god!
course, Vol Twitter's
All right,
Twitter's
everybody,
doing its
good old
thing.
Rocky
Where
Pod, segment where Matt just talks about our fans. Go ahead.
hey, you know what? I'm actually
Take it
gonna
away,
kind of
Matt.
compliment them. I mean, I like the enthusiasm for this game, but there's a little too much confidence for my liking, and that scares me. So
Do you think it hurts our karma, Matt?
yeah, big karma driver.
That's a shame.
We're going in with negative. Now we have done some nice things I've seen in following the media run up.
Yeah.
We had the
Raise
nice
money for
Captain
some-
Corn Juice, corn juice. Yeah,
good dude,
shout out to that guy.
corn juice.
What an amazing dude.
Thought you
What
hated
else?
him.
Missed that.
Ace is that guy.
I missed what you're talking about. Update me on that one.
There is a kid who's a kid in Ohio, an Ohio State family, and the kid I can't remember what kind of disease he was recently diagnosed with, but it sounds terrible. And old Captain Corn Juice got wind of it, and being the kind of guy he is, he set up a GoFundMe, raised nearly 20 grand to send the family to the game. And I don't know if the family's actually going to be able to go, but he's doing stuff to just doing a really good, a nice.
I think he did this at Oklahoma as well, but he goes and buys a bunch of like Oklahoma or that school's gear and goes to like children's hospitals and gives it away to kids. So yeah, shout out that guy. That's awesome.
Yeah. He's built right.
All right, that's cool.
He sounds like the kind of guy you would want to link up with.
All right,
Kyle.
Captain Corn Juice, right? So
Captain
All right.
Corn Juice.
well,
Cap.
if you're a friend of Captain Corn Juice, connect us. All right.
Okay.
So, as we talk about, do we want to hop into the game itself, or do we want to talk about the bracket first?
I mean, what's to talk about the bracket?
Dealer's choice. Kyle.
Or let's lead up.
I
Let's
guess
do it this way.
we haven't been
Can-
back since the bracket.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about as we talk about the bracket. I would literally not too much time on this, but I would just like your overall thoughts on maybe the Friday night games before we hop into Saturday night in our game. So let's look at the Friday night slate of games and let's get our opinions on that. So let's pull up the Friday night schedule and let's
There's
go
one
through.
game.
Caleb, what are you looking at, buddy?
Well, I'm trying to pull up the schedule to figure out who plays Friday night. Notre Dame and Indiana.
Florida.
Well, while you guys look at that, I would say that I did watch like a 30-minute YouTuber sim the whole playoff, and Clemson beat SMU in the national championship. So, yeah.
Nice conference rematch there.
We got it pulled up?
Yep, let's go.
I got it.
All right, Caleb, let's start with you. What's your original thoughts or your first thoughts on this?
Literally almost no thoughts on Notre Dame, Indiana. That's my thoughts. In-state rivalry.
Who do you want to win, though?
I want probably Indiana to win.
I think I'm all right with that too. Yeah, I really don't care either way.
Is there only one game? I thought there's two games.
No, just the one.
Friday. Although if Indiana wins, they have no chance to beat Georgia, and Notre Dame might have a chance, but
That's a good point.
Chris, you got anything?
I'm really thinking that Jacksonville State is going to not play so well in the Cure Bowl against Ohio to start the day. That kicks off at noon. I don't know if I've ever watched a Cure Bowl. They're typically not on TV. I hope that's changed. But Jacksonville State's a pretty interesting team, and Ohio, yeah, also kind of interesting. Be a nice little way to kick off the day. Then we proceed at 3:30 to the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Could be Gasparilla. I never lived in Tampa. I could never get it straight. That's Tulane versus Florida, and I bet old Billy just lays the wood to them. Tulane lost Mensa to the portal. Pence is its quarterback. And I bet Florida has a annoying them going into next season where they'll inevitably beat us. That leads all into the first round game, Indiana, Notre Dame. My thoughts. Notre Dame looked pretty tough until the Army-Navy game. The Army-Navy game gave me a very, very interest. Like Notre Dame's credentials, there's a lot of heavyweight being pulled by them beating ranked American Conference champion Army, and Army looked like shit against my Navy boys. So I thought Notre Dame looks tough. I've seen Indiana be tough, except against Ohio State. I bet it's like a really, really awful game. I bet it's like a kind of crunching, grinding, geared, Midwestern, snowy, cold, miserable type game. Maybe 30 points scored. But I suspect that Notre Dame will win it.
All right.
But I think it's a question of it's the game that has two teams that I still don't really understand. I don't know how good they are or not. I don't know if they're real or fake.
All right. And,
So it's a good matchup. One of those.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Chris Bluntman White. Chris White, official ball watcher.
Love college football, Kyle. I don't understand why people don't.
Chris, you got the bowl game on in the background?
I do have the bowl game on in the background. Go West Virginia.
All
Chris,
right.
what were your thoughts on the Doak Walker and the whatever, all the awards? Did you watch that too?
I watched pieces of it. As soon as I saw that we were up against an Ohio State player for the Remington, as soon as Cooper's Corps was up against an Ohio State player who had been injured 2 games ago and no longer is playing, will not play against us, I knew that his fate was already sealed. And then there was some guy, I think, from Western Michigan. Of course, the Ohio State guy got it. Whatever. Doak Walker, the fact that Dylan is not among the 3 was a joke.
Joke!
It's ridiculous. Joke! But Ashton Jeanty, yeah, great football player.
All right.
Hard to just.
Thank you.
Did you?
I do want to
any
say
thoughts?
that Travis Hunter winning the Defensive Player of the Year award. What was it? The Bednarik?
You won the Chuck Bednarik, yeah.
Winning that award, like, just stop with the awards now. Like,
Yeah, that was silly.
what a joke. As soon as he won that, I was like, oh, okay, here it is. He's going to get the Heisman.
Yeah.
And then Wes Rucker tweeting, yeah, I voted for Travis Hunter. Shut up. Joke.
I mean, playing both sides of the ball the way he did, I suppose that's worth some consideration. But that he was neither the best on either side of the ball is interesting. I want Boo Carter to be in the same position this time next year. I want him to have 800 receiving yards and 3 picks. Get him to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only thought on this is, like, I was having a conversation in another chat where it was a lot of guys were on the Genty train, but then a lot of guys are obviously on the Hunter train. And the conversation was like, he actually is a top tier cornerback, but he's an average wide receiver. So I get it that, like, an average wide receiver and a top tier cornerback together makes him, like, the best all time, like, football player, as in not like all time, but like, you know how you play all time quarterback, but like, yeah, he plays every play, but like, just because he plays every play, does that mean he's worth the Heisman? I don't know, but I'm not like the Heisman.
I probably would have voted for Genty, but whatever. I don't really care. As long as there are no Tennessee players there, I truly don't care. But
Yeah.
the
I mean,
second
the award's
you
been a
I
there,
joke
I'll
for a decade now, anyways.
Longer.
Yeah, I'm glad that it is just like it wasn't just like the best player on the best team, and that best player isn't really worth it. So
Yeah.
Yes.
that's a win. All right. So do we want to talk about the Saturday games before Tennessee?
sure
Want to.
quickly. Yeah.
Quickly, Chris, go for it.
Well, we got Penn State. Well, it's the
Penn
first one for
State
Penn State.
SMU is at
The
noon.
fact that that game is at noon on Saturday it cracks me up. Like you couldn't find a
Not as
better
much-
time slot for your first round college football game.
Big noon Saturday, Matt.
Oh yeah, we're still saying that and doing that.
We can't interrupt Matlock on TNT. So we're gonna have like that comes on. I forget when that comes on, but yes, that's a TNT.
Energy. Big noon energy.
Yes. Kyle, did you say SMU won the title on that stream of yours?
No, like they made it the
Clemson.
championship game. Clemson beat them in the Natty.
Clemson won. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a weird feeling about Clemson, but yeah, SMU, Penn State. Again, I think Penn State's probably okay, but I think the Big Ten title game made me think that they were a touch soft. Same for Oregon. They didn't seem explosive
Yeah.
on either side.
I'm not sure SMU's the team that's gonna
That's the problem.
expose that, but maybe.
And
I don't know.
I just checked the weather app here. Penn State,
Cold.
not too far away. It's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours from New York. And it's supposed to be like 18 degrees here and like a little bit of rain, so
Ooh.
which would be
Yeah.
snow.
I think that'll be a must watch. I will very much enjoy that.
Yes. That's going to be an interesting one, but I don't expect SMU to ultimately win.
I'm gonna go out and say that I think SMU is my pick to be that Cinderella team this year, and probably make kind of like, I'm not saying all the way to the title game, but make like a TCU style run where they think, oh yeah, there's no chance, they can't get past this team, blah blah blah. I think SMU is that team for me this year, so I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Penn State.
I think it'd be wonderful.
All right, how about
it's-
were you going to say something, Chris?
Well, I just like the whole talk has been about how that side of the bracket is just chalk for Georgia and Penn State, and how our half of the bracket is somewhat tough. And I would love for that narrative to be somewhat. I would like for it not to be completely. That's a word.
Anticipated.
Predictable. Sorry.
And let me see. James says it's not a word. All right, how about Clemson and Texas?
I expect Texas probably to win, though. If Quinn Ewers sucks, Clemson has a chance, which is possible because he kind of sucks. I feel like Texas's defense is probably good enough to win them the game, but I don't know. I'm not a believer in Quinn Ewers.
I think
Not a
this is
believer
a
in-
3-score Texas win. Like, I'm sorry, Clemson sucks. That's all I'm going to say, Chris.
Yeah, I think it probably ends up something like that, but I don't have a lot of faith in Texas's offense. I've watched a good bit of them this year, and they just kind of like they don't wow me against similarly talented competition. They're like that A&N game and others. They're Ewers, and they're running back Wisner's pretty good, but he's not he's not great. And just nothing about them offensively. They've got the talent there, but like they just haven't really put it together. Like there was Kentucky hanging with them late in the game. I mean, I guess in a similar way to us. Their defense is kind of ferocious.
I think
They were
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I think for me, overall, looking even just the first round, I'm kind of excited about the college football playoff on one hand, and the other hand, I'm kind of just worried about it because I kind of think you can convince me of every single scenario happening. I think everybody kind of sucks and everybody's kind of good and every single team can win, but I'm afraid that there's all upsets, and then we end up having a Clemson SMU national championship, and that just like, what the heck did we just do with this 12-team playoff? So like, part of me is like, I'm excited for chaos, but I'm afraid that chaos is gonna like suck.
Let me
I
put
think
your worries to bed, Kyle. It will not be Clemson and SMU in the title game.
I think
Sounds like
chaos.
Okay, thank you.
word to me.
If there is a lot of chaos in this bracket, I think that it's going to lead to a problem where we've had a lot of complaints about seeding. Like, okay, why does this team get to do this, and why is this side of the bracket like this? And I think if there is chaos, that a lot of that will go away. So I'm kind of rooting against like a chaos scenario, but I don't know. Hopefully those talking points will stay. But yeah, I think
Matt,
people will enjoy the chaos too much to want to perfect this model. What, Caleb?
I do like thoughts there, Matt, that if we can get, I mean, it is the argument for chalk. If like your Boise State and Arizona State just kind of play like they don't belong, then yeah, it'll be a pretty hard argument for reseeding, or at least making sure that these conference title games just make you conference champions, get you access to the playoff, not a bye.
Yeah.
But when you were saying what you were saying, well, I'm worried that it's going to, well, how did you phrase it? It's going to be just kind of a weird result, the potential for a weird result like Clemson SMU.
Yeah, like I think people will buy into like, oh my god, this was amazing. Like, look, how did this happen? Like, don't change anything about it.
To say like, I have no concern about, oh no, someone other than Georgia didn't win a national championship. Oh no, someone else won a national championship. Heaven forbid.
Yeah, that
I
is a
didn't
good
get
point. But
expected result.
I'm just saying I don't want the chatter to go away about, okay, why does Arizona State get a bye?
Yeah.
Why does
Yeah,
Boise
no.
State get a bye?
Yeah,
Like, I'm sorry.
I think that's kind of where I was leading. Is like, I think no matter what happens, I do want to see some sort of change with how they're seeding, but
Yes.
I'm afraid that too much chaos is either going to be like, oh wow, this is perfect, and I kind of subscribe to the thing that like, if you're on this tier of talent, you probably should not be invited to the playoff. But that's just me. Um,
You don't want an 11 seed like NC State happen in basketball making the Final Four. That's what you're saying.
I guess so. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm processing. I'm processing out loud. Good old Rocky Pod. But yeah. Okay. I want to spend, and I know you guys do too, and all the worldwide listeners around the good old Rocky Pod sphere of influence. We want to spend most of our time talking about the most important game of the University of Tennessee football history? Question mark. No.
I don't know.
No.
A couple of those
That's
Gator
what I've been
Bowls.
hearing sometimes. Let's debate that. Is it or is it not? And if it's not, which is bigger? Chris, let's start with you because you're in deep thought right now.
It's certainly the most important game of Josh's era. Of course, the other most important game was the last game.
We
Let's
didn't
see.
say that,
I
did
mean,
we?
the most important game in Tennessee football history was January 4th, 1999.
I-
But it's up there. It's way up there.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree. I mean, it is an important game, but I think people are overblowing how big this is to get us into the top 8. Like, we've been in the top 8 many, many times in the past. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but a top 8 couldn't get you to the title game.
It's
It's
not.
not a
It's not getting us in the top 8 of a power ranking or a poll, though. It's
Yeah.
actually a playoff game that counts.
Yeah, but it's the get us to the quarterfinals. I mean, it's
Jesus Christ! I just told Santa I want fun for Christmas. I don't know anything else.
I mean, I want to win
God,
it. Yeah.
What?
I'm too good for the fucking quarterfinals.
No, okay. I'm just saying, I would probably. Okay, you put me 2022 Alabama, bigger game than this Saturday, in my opinion.
No.
No.
Yes, 100%. Home game against a rival, top 5 matchup, bigger game. I'm sorry.
You might
No.
slightly.
You guys
Is this-
simply don't care about the regular season anymore?
Is
I
this your
think this
top
is the biggest
3
game in
matchup?
Tennessee football history since our national championship game in '98.
Okay, well, it has to be behind the 2001 LSU game at least. I mean,
That's
that
what I
was
was
it.
about to say. Yeah.
There's another, yes.
That was for a spot in the national championship game.
Is okay, and then the Mississippi State game, SEC championship game. That locked it in.
Okay, you're
I
convincing
feel
me.
like we're having short memories here. I mean,
Yeah, we're caught up in the moment, to be sure. I personally have a lot of emotional energy vested in this particular game against this particular opponent. So I'm a little.
Well, let's get into that in just a second. Matt, what do you think about this? What would your
It's-
bigger games be?
I would probably put the national championship game 1A and this 1B. I mean, I'm sorry, but
I'm
this
with
is
you.
a playoff
I'm
to
Matt-
win a
I'm on
national
Matt's side here.
championship.
And I was really hoping you say 98 Arkansas.
I would say 99 Florida was enormous game. I mean,
By God, it was. It was to get us sort of there on the way.
I mean,
I guess they're all technically games to put you in position to win a national championship, but now it's literally locked in.
Yeah, it's not up for debate. It's like you win and you advance.
I can see Caleb's argument for 2022 Alabama, but it's
Yeah.
okay, Matt.
it's not really in this.
Let's put it in these terms.
It's apples and oranges here.
Yeah, it's like
game-
emotional versus practical for me.
A game to go to the quarterfinals is the equivalent of a Sweet 16 game in basketball. Now, tell me
Yeah.
who get this excited for Sweet 16 games.
And that T on your jacket means you're conditioned to not care about that because we never get past it.
I was about to say, I hope Rick Barnes
Like shit.
shoe.
Oh well, we just made the tournament. Hey, can we go ahead and stitch the banner?
I'm just
Can we
saying,
do that,
Matt, I
Danny?
did not see you getting excited to play Creighton last year like you're getting excited for this.
When did the Lady Vols play Creighton?
Wow.
You know me, I'm a Rick Barnes hater, but I mean, Caleb, come on. Is this in your top 3 biggest games? Top 5? What are we talking?
Do you care at all?
Oh, I told
Aren't you
I'm
going?
just saying that. I'm just think
Aren't
we're
you
forgetting
going
a
to
lot
this
of
game?
games. No, unfortunately, I'm not a road Vol.
Oh,
Well, here's the thing. Hey, Caleb, I just want, for those watching the podcast who are not in the inner workings of our friendships and our group chats, Caleb is a known emotional hedger. So I'm thinking that he is downplaying the importance of and the impact of this game just in the case we lose. He's like, it wasn't that big of a game.
Caleb has his kids' Christmas presents.
No,
on
it's
Ohio
a very
State.
important game. Don't get me wrong. If we win, we still have to win 3 more.
Yeah, and then the next game will be the most
And they
important
keep
game
getting
ever.
bigger. They keep getting bigger. but this one's the biggest game since. I will give you the 2001 LSU game.
What about 2022 South Carolina? I mean, that was for a spot in the playoffs.
In a
I
smaller
always
play.
thought had to beat Vanderbilt, you know. And
That was essentially this game, though. We had to beat South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and then 2 playoff games. That's the same exact spot we were in 2 years ago.
But I just feel like this is like we're actually in the playoff. Like it's actually a college football playoff game.
You said it, Kyle.
It's not a regular season game.
Okay,
I'm shocked
I were-
by Caleb right now.
if I were you guys, the argument I would be making, I could easily make this argument if Chris hadn't staked the first position, but it's the fact that we're playing Ohio State, I think, is what makes this a huge deal. Like, if we were playing, whatever, Indiana or, like, SMU, then it wouldn't have the same, it wouldn't be nearly the same. But the fact that we're playing at Ohio State, that makes it a huge game.
Piggybacking off of that, this game is the statement game on the mold of the Alabama 22. It's a restatement of a rival. You win this, lots of things are possible, but what assuredly happens is people's estimation of Tennessee begins to grow. We kind of fell on our asses in 22, took a step back last year. We've been kind of whatever this year, so the perception of us is kind of muddled. You win this one, a lot can change. A lot can happen.
Yeah.
That is why I want this one, just regardless of its position as a playoff game. This particular game against this particular opponent in this particular environment is enormous. Enormous, in my view. Could be wrong.
I agree.
What do you
Well,
think
Chris,
about that?
Well, because I want to know, go back to like you for a second. Why is this such a personal investment game for you?
Got Ohio State family.
Chris is
Like
a
I would, but get into this a little bit.
Okay, my experience with through my family of Ohio State football is that Ohio State, it's enormous. First of all, its fan base is huge. Ohio State's a much bigger school than Tennessee. They exist in this kind of plane of football that I don't think, do. At least in their own minds, and probably in actuality. They just have been a consistently successful program at a very high level for a very, very, very long time, since Woody Hayes got to Ohio State, and pretty much consistently since then. They just don't lose a lot. And they have very, very high standards for the kinds of ways that they win. They
don't play
consistent
anybody.
do what?
Thank you.
They don't lose a lot because they don't play anybody.
Well, that's one joke I wanted to make. All it took for Oregon to get back to the top was to join the fucking Big Ten. but yes, regardless of that, Ohio State is consistently up there. And by the resources that they have, the way that they recruit, all that goes into that, how much money they have. It's kind of odd that they aren't in the national championship game every year.
That's kind of odd how that happens.
Chris, with your Ohio State connections, if Ryan Day loses this game, is there a real possibility they run him out?
My family don't seem to be, they are not the high end, far end reactionary types.
Okay.
So I don't know that I have a good perspective on it, but I would, based off an internet reading, they are not happy up there. Now, I personally think that they put just an inordinate amount on that Michigan game, probably to the extent that how we were doing with Florida for so long that it just messed with our minds.
Yeah.
And so but right now, I mean, truly to them, that game you could lose. It feels like you could lose, have a losing season, maybe lose every game except for that one, and it would feel all right. But you win all of them and lose that one, and it's just the highest disgrace.
All right.
I don't I don't know if he's in trouble, but if he doesn't start to turn that particular thing around, yeah, probably. Of course, John Cooper was terrible at beating Michigan. He lasted for a good long time.
I could see Ryan Day doing the Lincoln Riley thing, just like, let me just go take another job that's a little less pressure.
Yeah, I think he's gonna before they get to fire him, he's probably gonna leave and restart his clock.
I agree.
He might be smart.
Yeah.
He I don't know if he's built for that particular job in the way that an Urban Meyer is or others. You have to be like a monomaniacal type figure,
Well, that
like Urban Meyer, like Woody Hayes.
that leads me up to the obvious follow-up question: is if Ryan Day leaves, are we worried about Josh Heupel going to Ohio State?
That's already drafted up his contract to go to Norman, so I don't
Yeah.
know. So probably not.
All right, so
No.
let's get into the nuts and bolts of the game. How we feeling? Let's like. I really want to talk a little bit about X and O's and like units versus
Give me some
units.
Joes.
Uh, there we go. So I'll start off and just y'all take it from here. I am not concerned at all about the Ohio State offense scoring on us.
What happened?
Kyle, have you not learned your lesson?
I
is
don't.
With you?
I literally think the first team to 17 wins.
We shouldn't even watch the game now. You have totally tanked us,
Whoever
bro.
runs our social media, can you clip the clips of Kyle from the Music City Bowl 3 years ago? Post those.
Gosh.
Oh.
I am not worried about Ohio State's offense against our defense at all. They are just not going to score against us.
That's exactly why I am worried. Look what Georgia did. I wasn't worried about Georgia, and then look.
You're not worried about money on the rise, Kyle?
Nope. Now, I think the only question for me is, can we score against them?
Do we annihilate them or merely beat them? Is that the question?
I'm just not worried about their offense. I'm just not. Like I said, I'm not.
Did you watch other Ohio State games besides Michigan this year?
Nope.
Okay.
Here it is.
We'll say
Penny drop,
it does seem
as
like
they
their
say.
offense has not been kind of what it has been previously. So
Thank you, Matt.
I think this is like probably the most even matchup of all the playoff games. Like,
Yes.
I mean, this should definitely be the one. I know game day is going to be there. This should be the game that everybody looks to. Like, oh, I have to see this. Like, I think best pairing so far in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that seems to be the widely held acclaim or position by most of the talking heads, and I think it's the fact that the other games are on TNT. I mean, come on.
Are they going to get
Well,
Charles
ridiculous.
Barkley to do the pregame or whatever?
And it get cold up there. You cold, Shaq.
Yeah. And he'll
That's
just
some news
start
that near
talking
San Antonio,
about
Shaq.
Connect.
They wolfing down them churros in Columbus.
All right, so
Oh,
like I stated what I'm not worried about. What are you guys not worried about, or what are you worried about? Chris, we'll start it with you.
I'm not worried about how many fans we have there.
Let's talk about the game.
I'm not worried about Dylan Sampson. He's going to do his thing. I think we'll be.
Concur.
You don't think he's gonna fumble?
Oh yeah, of course he's going to fumble, but
It's baked into the cake, Matt.
Yeah. What about you, Matt?
We won 10 games doing that.
I mean, you know me. Before the game, like, oh, everybody's gonna play at an all-American level. We're gonna win by 50. But I think if I had to say, I'm probably most worried about special teams, and I mean, just a shanked punt or a couple missed field goals can be the difference. So I guess I'm most worried about special teams.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a reason to be. I mean, Max has been all right, and Jackson Ross, like, you know, he is what he is. So
we got
Caleb.
Blue Carter in that.
Boo Carter,
Yeah.
he's been too good. I think he's due for a fumble too. I
Well,
don't know if-
yeah, here's the thing. I'm a little worried about Boo Carter's refusal to wave a fair catch sign. Has he done a fair catch yet?
I'm
I feel
sure
like he either
has.
fields it or he just gets completely out of the way.
Yeah.
I have a big worry that it's Tim Banks.
Ooh.
I just don't trust him in games like this.
That's a good one.
I'm so worried we're going to pull out the Georgia playbook.
Are you kidding me? Weren't you there for 2002 or 2022 Alabama?
And how many
Biggest
points did
game
Tim Banks
ever?
give up? 49.
He gave up none personally, but players
he didn't
didn't
even play.
execute. You got to execute. That is a good point. Damn it. What do you want to see on defense? Blitzing. I mean, you think our corners? I know Kyle's noted Carnell Tate fan. Can our corners stand up to him? And who's the other guy? Jeremiah Smith or whatever.
It's an Emeka Buka.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about those matchups. I don't think.
I mean, they're good receivers. They're probably going to make some plays. I think Jermod and Ricky can hang with them as good as anybody, but
They have two great running backs too. I mean,
Yes. But what I'm looking to see is an aggressive game plan by our front six going after their patchwork offensive line. If we can get to Will Howard and make it very difficult for him to utilize those receivers and make it very difficult for Judkins and Travion Henderson to get going as Michigan did, if we could bait them into playing tough, then yeah, I think we might be okay, at least on that side of the ball. Trouble is, I keep seeing Carson Beck stand there like he's in his living room. A tight end.
All right. Why did you put an emphasis on the front six?
Those are the guys that get pressure on the quarterback.
Correct. And I would like to lead you into the next line of questioning, counselor. Who is the quarterback for Ohio State?
Will Howard.
And is Will Howard Carson Beck?
I would assume that their genetics are
the answer to the question is no. No.
Objection.
All right.
DNA is different.
No, I'm not scared of a guy named Will Howard. Okay? It's just not happening.
Here's two things that the Yoda from Star Wars, you will be, is just flying up in my head.
All right, Caleb, you're going to say something?
I don't remember.
I'm just not.
I will say when they announced that Will Howard was transferring to Ohio State and he's like their big portal get at quarterback, I was like, what? Like, that's the best you can do? Like, he doesn't really fit that mold of Ohio State quarterback. Did you guys see that? I think it was on Twitter or something, but the guy talking about how Ohio State with white quarterbacks versus black quarterbacks, how like they almost never have a white quarterback.
Well, Kirk Herbstreit, Matt.
I mean, yeah, but recently, I mean, you had what? Oh my God, what was the Smith guy? Was there a Smith?
Be careful with this conversation.
Yeah,
I
I was
was gonna
hoping
say,
somebody had
Kyle,
seen that video.
the thing that gives
YouTube
me
algorithm.
the thing that gives me the most hope was Heupel's press conference yesterday, where they asked like something about you got any new tricks up your sleeve, and he's like, nope, we're gonna do the
Haven't-
same exact
haven't
thing.
ran the shovel
we
pass
ran some
since week
special teams
2.
again all year.
Yeah.
Not a thing different. He was a sassy pants. It was great.
Oh
He was grinning.
But seriously, that gave me a lot of hope that we're gonna have some nice wrinkles.
yeah, for 4 yards on third
Hey,
and
Matt,
9.
4 yards every
What?
time. It's first down. Move the chains.
Not on third and 9?
All right.
Yeah, no. Plus, historical thing. The last time Tennessee played and beat Ohio State, what was the name of the Ohio State quarterback? Bobby Hoying. Very much in the mold. Bobby Hoying. Very much in the mold of a Kyle McCord. Very much in the mold of a Will Howard type. Also with a very good running back in the name of Eddie George, but a much better offensive line.
Are we talking about basketball or baseball or what are we talking about? I think that'd be January 1999. Well, seem to recall we might have switched from the Bowl Alliance to the new and improved BCS.
Bleep bloop, bleep bloop.
Let me look it up here on the Google. Oh, let's see. 13-0. Pretty good season.
Matt, you want to go a step further? Do you remember those games that year? What an ugly slugfest so many of those were. We're coming out. We're about to be the number one team in the country because Ohio State or Michigan State beat Ohio State, and we're coming off a ho hum win at home with UAB. Going, we played like shit.
Yeah.
All of them, so many of those games were just grinding. Oh, what are we doing? Until the normal easy slate to finish the year. It's a very similar kind of team, except for the fact that we didn't beat Arkansas.
Can we talk about Nico for a second?
Sure.
I'm just like, I want to talk about Nico. Are we like, what's our confidence level versus our worry level of him in this game? Caleb, let's start with you.
I'm not that worried. He's been playing good lately. Ever since halftime at the Alabama game, he has played between pretty good and great. So I'm not that worried. He's not going to get us beat, I don't think.
Matt,
That's
you're
what being
muted.
is.
And Chris, what do you think about Nico?
What do I think about Nico? I think, yeah, Caleb is right. Bama knocked some sense into him. And the main trouble after that was receiver drops. Now, I don't know if receiver drops and quarterback accuracy coming together against Vandy and for somewhat of a half against Georgia translate to, wow, we can go and win a winter playoff game at Ohio State. But I'd have some confidence that we're going to be able to move the ball in the air.
What about you?
To say nothing of on the.
What about you, Matt?
Oh, sorry, I had a sneeze coming. Nah, I'm not worried about Nico, I don't think. I think he's shown enough progress over the season that, I think he'll come ready to play. I mean, interceptions not been an issue lately. So hopefully he can have a good game.
Real good defense, though.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like it all comes. Nico has a good game if he makes like 3 or 4 decent plays, and if those wide receivers help him make those plays. So I really think if he's accurate on like 3 or 4 mid range to long balls, I think we're in good shape. If he's not accurate, or if our wide receivers just plain up just drop the balls, we might be in a little bit of trouble. But if they make 3 to 5 plays, I think we're fine.
We got to keep him up right. Georgia got to him 5 times.
Yeah.
And Ohio State's got 2 probable first rounders on their edges, on their line. So we really, really need a top-notch game from our from the whole offensive line, but particularly the tackles.
Gotcha. Well, as we land the plane, as they like to say,
Or drone.
Drones. Any final thoughts on this game, or do we want to go ahead for a look ahead at our Oregon matchup? Or
we'll say that for next week's pod.
Okay, and I would just like to say,
this might be the season finale. Won't
no, we'll be here through basketball and baseball season.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Long track record of that.
Yeah, well, yeah. This is about the time where we'll see in 2029. Yeah. But I would like to say that the last time a defensive player won the Heisman, the next year the University of Tennessee opened up versus Syracuse. We won the national championship.
You're saying we're going to win it next year.
Damn it.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
Any final thoughts on this game? Y'all want anything we didn't cover?
Beast of the week and pick to click.
All right, go for it.
2-minute drill.
Yeah, all right. Let's do let's do beast of the week. So defense.
Then we got to go through the whole bracket too. Remember, do that.
Yeah, bro. He is doing my job. This is amazing. All right, while we pull up the bracket, let's do the beast of the week.
Oh my god.
The defensive player that you think is going to stand out. Let's start with Ohio State, Chris.
Pass, I'm thinking.
All right, Caleb, you're beast of the week on defense.
Mine's Jermod McCoy. Big game, big player.
All right, and Caleb. I mean Matt. My bad.
James Pierce Jr. I think he's gonna have a couple sacks. Get that draft stock on the rise.
Money on the rise. Kyle.
I am gonna go with Aaron Carter's gonna have an interception.
Ooh. Didn't he have one against Vandy?
He's gonna have one versus Ohio State.
I can't remember if it was interception or foul. I think it was interception.
All right, Chris.
My mind keeps seeing myself getting very excited for an Omar Norman Lott sack.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give 1A, 1B. 1B is that Will Brooks reprises his role as quarterback scrambler grabber, stopping a long play from happening. Will Howard is going to scramble a good bit in this game because if they look at our film, they see that that's available for them. And I bet Will Howard prevents a big one.
That's good.
As soon as you said
Claudian slip there, Chris.
Will Brooks. Well, maybe it could be that Will Howard prevents it himself by sucking. But Will Brooks is going to be the hand that allows it to happen.
As soon as you said you're imagining
not going to work.
As soon as you said you're imagining Omar Norman Lott getting a big sack, I was just thinking of him like stomping on the throat of Will Howard or something immediately afterwards.
Yeah,
just
like
negating everything.
That's
Okay. Kyle, who was yours? Forget.
Aaron Carter.
Oh, Carter. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Pick to click. Pick to click on offense.
Oh. I think are we going to have a consensus one this week? Let's all say it on 3. Let's all say who it is, okay?
Okay.
I agree.
1, 2, 3.
Mike Matthews.
Squirrel White.
Mike Williams.
Me and Matt. Me and Matt.
Who did you say, Chris?
I said I tried to say Mike Matthews.
You said
Mike
Matthews
Matthews
and
Mike Williams. Mike Williams.
What?
You got me so excited with the countdown in my brain. Just
I was like, wait, are we saying it on 3 or? Caleb, who was yours?
I was just joking with mine. I didn't think we were being serious.
Oh, who'd you say?
I said Squirrel White.
Hey, we're laughing, but this might be the one.
Here's the thing about Squirrel White. Do you think if his name wasn't Squirrel?
No, we
would
talk about this
actually
every
be-
week.
Wait, say that again, Kyle.
If his name wasn't Squirrel, I don't think we would actually think he was that good of a player. If his name was just like
That's
Andrew.
a good thought. That's a good thought.
Andrew
what an
White.
interesting perspective, Kyle.
What if his name was
Consider.
Chris?
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
Name.
But
All right,
wasn't
I like
Chris
Mike
White like
Matthews.
a good wide? Chris White was a good wide receiver in the '80s, right?
He was a very good corner.
Yeah.
Or was he
Yeah,
a safety? I think he was a safety.
I don't know.
Led us in interceptions for a long time.
That would be the funniest Squirrel White story, though, if he did have a 200-yard, 3-touchdown game in the playoff and just kind of cemented his legacy. And this whole time we'd be like, yeah, he's all right. He's average, below average, maybe.
Yeah. I would love it. I would love a go-off game by Squirrel.
I would love, the Jordan Gainey.
Mm.
Ah.
Yeah, we failed to give Gainey the proper desserts, flowers, whatever, for what he did against Illinois.
Yeah, the ladder plays a classic. We ran the ladder at Pigeon Forge High School.
Shout out.
You stole it from that one team in 1980.
Yeah, I saw that in the
Okay, I'm sorry, but that did not look like much of a play to me. It looked like
That's exactly what the ladder is you go straight up the ladder. That's what it is. You pass the ball and the inbounder runs straight up the ladder and tries to just blow past everybody. That's the ladder.
Good play. Should run it
Ron
more often.
Slay got them. Yes. I would love to see that more often.
All right, and now we're gonna do what
Tanya.
everybody has come here to see. We're actually gonna pick the
all
bracket.
right.
Oh, no. I
Folks
thought we
might
were
want to
doing
end the
score.
episode here, and if you're a really loyal listener, you can keep listening.
All right.
Wait,
So
wait.
Let's
Wait. Why are we doing the bracket and not the game?
let's skip the bracket. I think we already talked about the bracket enough, right?
We'll do the rest of the
we
bracket
got
next week.
Clemson
We're in
versus
quarterfinals.
Texas. Clemson versus Texas.
Texas.
We'll do the rest of the bracket next.
We'll
Let's
do the
just get
first
through
round.
it. Skip Texas. Yeah, we'll pick the. Okay, good point, Caleb.
Texas. All right.
Texas.
SMU, Penn State.
Penn State.
SMU.
Chris, you're the tiebreaker.
Penn State.
All right. Indiana, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Indiana.
Matt, tiebreaker.
I'm going to go with Chris on this one. I think Signetti is going to be kind of like a Butch Jones when it comes to bowl games. Can't touch him.
All right.
Bowl champ.
Give him 2 weeks
I'm
to.
gonna lead
dial
up.
up
I'm
some
gonna lead
stuff.
up to our game. So that leads
Okay.
Indiana and Georgia.
Oh,
Oh, no. We're just doing the first round.
Okay. Okay. So we'll go back to Tennessee. Okay.
Okay.
And the final game of the first round, your Tennessee Volunteers versus Ohio State.
Ooh, the disrespect.
I missed an article.
all right. Who's going
Hey,
first?
them, Ohio State University.
the they them Ohio State.
Gracious.
Well, mine are never. I mean, I'm serious, but they're Never close. Tennessee dominates, and Tennessee wins, I'm going to say 35-13.
All right.
And
Caleb is
Ohio State fans are going to be chanting, OH and O. Oh no!
All right. I'm waiting for that call in the fifth quarter fan reaction.
No, we're tired.
Caleb, what about you, buddy?
My feels are pretty good. I'm kind of right there with Matt. I was thinking 31-17 Tennessee.
No, you weren't.
And the Tennessee fans are going to be singing Rocky Top.
This is our city. This is our horseshoe.
All right. I think I will end with Chris. I am going to say, like I said, I think it's the first team to 17 wins this game. And I think it's going to be 20-13 Tennessee.
I was hoping you'd say like 16-14. Nobody wins.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, you're hilarious. All right.
Thank you.
Chris.
23-17, Ohio State.
You son of a bitch.
As much as I hate the idea,
What can we do to convince you?
tell me that we have our road victory at Vanderbilt has exercised some sort of a road demon. A road victory at Vanderbilt in a must-win situation exercised a certain kind of road demon, and Tim Banks learned something from the Georgia game.
So are you saying
I can't.
reasons we're not going to win?
If any of those things happen, then yeah, I think if we play this game, we win. Play it 10 times, I suspect we win 4 of them.
Okay.
I just don't think this will be one. I feel like Ohio State is more talented. I feel like they can get the ball to their receivers. I have deep fears that we're not going to get the kind of pressure that we hope for, because Georgia's offensive line was supposed to be kind of a weak link as well, and we just didn't.
Oh.
I just suspect that the Ohio State is going to get past Jermod, get past Ricky, and I suspect that they're going to be able to score just a little bit more than us.
Well,
The Ohio's got a really good defense.
fans of the good old Rock Pod, I just want to personally apologize. I did a big
Yes.
lead up
Right.
to Chris because he has Ohio State family members, and we laid it up for him. We teed it up for him, some might say, for an elevated, high energy, just sticking it to his family members and saying, this is where we plant the flag, Ohio State, and we are going to beat the living crap out of you because you guys suck very, very much. And Tennessee does not suck at all. And we are going to beat the crap out of you. And it's not going to be by a lot because we both suck on offense. But we're still going to beat you. And it's going to be about 20-13. So that's what Chris should have said. And I apologize deeply and sincerely to all of our loyal fans.
I do not apologize for subverting expectations. It keeps things interesting.
OH and O. Oh no.